uncle comes to my room, he starts touching me. Then there is a time he licked me, as in like kissing the girl, so she was like.
Hello, my beautiful viewers. This is Lioness Travels once again in new video. So today I've come in a different style. I've come with a visitor. So please let's welcome her with the likes, comments, and subscribing. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, so please click that red button so that we can go on in peace. So let me introduce you my visitor, but I'm not going to introduce her. Let me ask her to introduce herself right now. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So we would like to know your name, and you're most welcome to our family. Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Martha, and I'm your guest today. I'm going to be sharing with you my story. It's an unshared story, so it's kind of a secret. Though some people know about it, and not everyone. Thank you.
So the way you have heard our visitor, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you know you have not subscribed, and if you know you have already subscribed, thank you very much. Thank you for bringing me or supporting your young girl. So as you know, I promised you, me Lioness Travel, that I'll be bringing you a lot of information concerning traveling, concerning eating, concerning stories, concerning what everything I'll be finding for you. I have to bring them to you. So today, I've gone to our project of My Deepest Secret. So, in our deepest secret, we have brought you a good story, a story that needs you to listen to us. Can you please lend us your ears for just few minutes? Thank you. So, you said your mother. So, you're most welcome, Martha.
Thank you.
You said you are going to tell us about your story. So, can you please tell us?
Yeah. So this story, I've never shared it with anyone. Let me say outside, but some of my family members know about it. So my story is about the reason as to why I left my 5-year-old marriage, but I still couldn't go back to my family. So I had left the marriage, and my family was no longer interested in hosting me, giving me shelter, or even siding with me.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, the tough times are days to remember, but with God, everything is possible.
Alright, so when I met you, where are you currently staying? But before that, you can now open up to the story so that we can go on. We shall see those questions later.
So, for matters of privacy, I would wish we leave the names of the places so I can share, but I will be saying somewhere. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, maybe I could just share my profession. So, by then, I was working with some government facility. Yeah, but I used to work from Monday to Friday, go back home to my home on weekends. Then I go back Monday morning to work. So I was married but not staying with my husband for the whole week. Yeah.
So please, can you tell us how it started?
Yeah, so it all started with mates complaining, but matters of the heart. So I think in this scenario or this saga, I lost like 3 mates, but I was still siding with my husband.
Because you loved him.
Yeah, I did.
You have kids?
Yeah, we had 2 kids.
You had 2 kids, eh?
Yes.
Alright.
So the first issue, like the first scenario happened with the maid who complained at first. So this maid was my maid. she had only stayed for sometimes like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Then after those 2 weeks, I used to go do my work, come back. Then when I came back one time, she told me I want to go, but with no reason.
So you'd go out to work and leave the maid and the husband and the kids at home.
Yes. And the kids at home. So I come back one day, nothing happened. Remember, I'm not always around. I will not say she's complaining about my behavior. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
So out of the blue, the maid wants to go. So I asked her the reason. She tells me, just give me my money, me I go.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so I tried to ask. So the maid had friends outside. So on talking to the friends, one of them is the one who told me that the reason as to why she left was because of my husband.
Oh. So what was your reaction when they tell you that it is your husband?
I was shocked, but how should I call him? Such people are called narcissists. You know that kind of person. Manipulative behavior. So he's like, when you try to blame him, he turns it to you. And he's like, maybe when you're at work, it's what you always do. So you think when I'm this side, it's what I'm doing. Yeah? So you know that scenario. And remember, me, I'm from a family that does not welcome divorce. You know African families. So I loved my marriage. I got married to the man. And you know when you're leaving home, they tell you, we've burnt your bed, you're not coming back here.
Sure.
So I called home. I tried to explain everything. But everyone I was talking to was like, you have the evidence. But some of them used to tell me, men cheat. Those are usual things. So I let that one go.
So the first maid went.
Yeah, she went, but still I was doubting. You know, it's the first time. You've never caught your husband cheating.
Yeah.
You've never suspected him.
Right.
So you're like, and on this first maid, the issue he told me that the girl was over going outside every now and then, leaving the children alone. He was telling me
Him was reporting to you.
Yeah. So that made me think maybe she wanted to get married. That is the reason as to why she left. So
To get married to your husband?
no. The guys
someone
outside
outside.
because my husband told me she was always going outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I let that one go. This maid, after leaving, I get another one. But the one I got this time, she was a sister to the maid working at my mom's place. I don't know if you understand.
To your mom's place.
So there was a maid at my mom's place.
Yeah.
So she gives us my sister, her sister, to start working.
Now I understand.
So this sister comes, she starts working. She also complains after some time. But this time round, she was like, no, the condition here and the environment is not conducive for me. I want to go back home. I was like, what is happening here?
How many weeks now?
I think she was.
Did she spend a month?
No, her month was not yet.
Oh, the other was 2 weeks and this one not a month.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like, what is happening here? I tried to talk to her. I call her sister. I tell her, but the sister only told. So I think they discussed as sisters. So when they discussed, you know, when you're like in that scenario and it happens to you, of course you have to call your sister who linked you up.
Yes.
So I think she had told her that the man here is not behaving very well.
Behaving well like how?
Like, I think he had already started harassing the girl sexually. So the maid wanted to go without breaking the marriage. That is the reason she said, I didn't tell you because I didn't want to break your marriage. And I knew you would not believe me. And of course I didn't believe her. So when she told me that, I told her, if you're tired, instead of accusing people falsely, just leave in peace. So I didn't want to be a bad person. We count the money she had worked for that month, and she leaves.
Sorry.
So
So you went on that struggle for looking for a maid and going back to work?
No, I was tired. Yeah, I was tired. So I decided to go get a girl from the village. But before getting that girl from the village, I called the sister to this one who had left to come pick the children as I get the girl, because I remember it was a Sunday, so I was supposed to go on Monday work, then come back on Friday with the girl. But remember, I had kids and they were still young, so they couldn't stay at home alone. So I decided they can pick the kids, take them to my mom for that week. I come back on Friday with the maid, then she starts all the girl from the village. They were holidays, so I wanted to use the girl's name, but let me leave it.
Don't discuss the name.
Yeah.
Maybe she might fall on this video and say, oh, people.
Yeah.
Alright.
So the maid at my mom's place came. It was on Sunday to pick the children, but it was already late, so she couldn't leave. So Monday morning, I used to leave at 5 in the morning early. I left normally. So this story I'm telling you right now is a story told to me by that girl. So me, after leaving, I told them, don't move with the children in coldness. Instead, dress up and be ready. When like morning comes and the sun is out, you can go. So I think she lost sleep. She was in the sitting room, but the kids were already sleeping. They were still sleeping. So she tells me my husband woke up, found her sitting, then he passed by her. Remember, he was aware there is another girl in the house, and I think so. She used to come over during like Christmas, New Year, like to help out. So he knew that girl. So I think, was he interested? Should I call him? Eat his habit? I don't know. So she told me he just passed by, so she was sitting in the sofa watching TV. He closed the door. The children were sleeping, so in closing the door, he tried to force himself on her. But she was kinda, should I say, masculine. Like she had some energy, so she fought. Inviting, she opened the door. She tells me she ran outside, but without shoes, no nothing, totally nothing. She just went to the compound. So luckily, in the fence, there is the main house where they were, but we have rentals and there were people. So he couldn't follow because people outside in the rentals would be like, what is happening? So he didn't follow. She came back, picked her shoes, then she went on the children's window, like where the children were sleeping, and she knocked. Luckily, the older girl, so right now she's 8 years old. By then she was 5. So she woke up, and the maid called her on the window and told her, get your bag and wake your little brother up. You come outside, we go. Then the dad tried to stop the children, but the girl was like, Mommy said we should go. So that is how she left. After she left, so this story, she told it to me after reaching my mom's place. After settling, so after reaching, she called me, told me everything. But this was a girl who was about to get married. She had her own husband, and that was her last month working at my mom's place. I don't know, she was a Muslim. They call it nikah, something like that. So it was close. So she told me everything. After she told my mom, good thing these things have happened when I'm about to leave. So I will stay for the remaining days. I will not go. But I'm not going back to the other place. Then I just work, do my job, complete my days, then I leave.
So she took the children to your mom's place?
Yeah, she did. So I was the other side at work. But this thing was starting to trouble me. Remember the first one? I didn't know the reason. But the second one told her friend. So the friend told me. I was doubting.
Now this one is the third.
Yeah, this is the third. So doubt. The The second one you could be doubting, but still the third person, same issue. So I was like, there might be something. You know, I trust these men, but sometimes when something is like coming, like issues raising, first time, second time, third time, you're like, something might be wrong.
Yeah.
It's either something wrong with the girls or the man. And you know, the first girl can't be wrong, the second girl is wrong, the third girl is wrong.
True.
So I decided on Friday. Friday came. So I brought the girl from the village. But this was a P7 practice. But you know, these girls, let me say she was 15, 14. They started when they're old. So I tried to sit with my mom. I talked to her. I will not say she was not supportive, but you know our mindset as Africans. So our issue was, have you called him? Whom do you trust? These people you have just seen, or the husband you've spent years with? I was like, remember, we were married 5 years now, but we had been in courtship for like 2 years. So those are 7 years total. And my family knew. So they were like, you've known the guy for long. You've known the guy for long. So now you're going to trust words with no evidence. You leave your marriage. But you know, situations cannot be the same after hearing such. So I come back with that reaction. I'm not behaving the same way. Like now, everything is changing. So he started complaining, you don't want to do this, you no longer treat me the same way. But remember, the other thing is troubling you. And he was not explaining everything except denying. All he did is deny. So I brought the girl, showed her everything. So over the weekend, by the way, every time I used to stay, let me say, I used to come Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. He was a fine guy, acting like he doesn't even talk to mates. You know that kind of person, yeah? He's like, even if he wants water, he will call you, not calling the maid. So he's like, I don't talk to those people at all. Me, I don't. So I'm like, when I'm around, he's a fine guy. He doesn't. If the maid is in the bedroom and he finds him there, you see him outside coming to sit with you. So you're like, my husband doesn't. He can't. And another thing, you know, as women, so I don't know, but there is that ego you have. You're like, you know, people are made. So no,
That
you
happens.
know, yeah, it does. You're like, if he's to cheat, maybe with someone else, but they're made. So this girl, I brought her. We spent the weekend together. He used to even call her daughter. Yeah, he has that tendency. When you bring a young girl at home, he's like, daughter, my daughter, my daughter. So I was like, father figure. We have a father figure in the house. So we spend the weekend, everything is fine. Money comes. So I think since the girl was young, at first he was scared. So the girl spent the first week. I came back Friday. She didn't say anything. She was fine. She was talking to her people. Of course, if something had happened in that week, she would have told the mom. Second week, the girl is fine. Everything is okay. I'm like, I even start to doubt the words of the maids now more. Because I'm like, I'm glad this one is around. Nothing is happening. So in the third week, I come back home on Friday. Then she's like, she used to call me auntie. She's like, auntie, but when I'm in the bathroom every time, I think someone comes and stands on the veranda and watches me as I bathe. So remember there are rentals in the fence. So I said, and there were young boys of 24, 25 renting. So I was like, since this girl is young and there are young boys, maybe these boys are always the ones. But she told me no. Before even they came back, so they used to come back at 10, you know things of boys. He comes back at 10, closes back outside, comes back at midnight. So she was like, before even, so I asked her, a man or a woman? So she's like, the person is standing in darkness, so I'm not sure. But one of them was married. Yeah? So I was thinking, oh, why this woman, like the one renting, has such habits. You know, also as women, you can be the young guy, you have your habit. So you go, you pick the girl as she's baby.
I'm telling
So
you.
my brain never went to the man. Maybe it was the guy always watching the girl as she bathes. So that is now week 3. She's starting to complain, but I think the thing was gradual. So he couldn't like bring it at once. He started slowly by slowly.
Process by process.
So yeah. So in this process of watching the girl as she bathes, that is when the idea came. I go that weekend. I go back on Monday. So the thing started. It was like on Wednesday. I've spent 2 days at work. She calls me and tells me, Auntie, I want to come back. When you come back on Friday, I want to go home. So children. She was scared. I didn't know this, not until she went back home. So when I tried to talk to her, I told her, why do you want to go? She told me, no. Me, I'm tired, I want to go home. So she called home and told her parents, me, I want to leave. So the parents called me and told me, when you're coming back on Monday, the other week, the coming week, come back with our daughter. And then I couldn't refuse. Remember, she's not my relative. They're just people we know from the village. So I bring your child. It's up to you to take her or for me to keep her. Now I was stranded. It was a total dilemma. Because I was like, now if this girl wants to go, right now where am I going to put my children? It's third term holiday. The holiday is long. Remember, now my mom has no one working for her. The maid wants to go. This young girl, she wants to go. So I'm like, what do I do? I have my sister, my elder sister. So she had her daughter. The daughter was also a vacist. So I was talking to my sister. Then she's like, I'm like, how is everyone? She told me, this girl is also here. So an idea came. I was like, if this one wants to,
of P7 or
P7.
Oh, so a vacist, when we talk about vacist, about those candidates who have finished a candidate class and they are going for vacation. Yeah.
So I'm like, why don't you give me that girl? She helps me out as she's waiting to go back to school. So I was like, I told the parents, okay, I'll bring that girl. But in my mind now, I was still at work, but I wanted to question the girl. Why are you leaving? Is the reason I wanted to do. I don't know what the man told the girl. She didn't say anything. Even when I came, I kept on questioning the girl for the whole weekend, but she insisted on one thing. I want to go back home. Monday comes, we are on the way. I'm taking her, but I'm asking her, why do you want to go back home? She's like, I want to go back home.
Asking her, did I do anything wrong?
No, I want to go back home.
Oh my God.
I'm like, okay, let me take you. So after taking her, I called my sister. I told her, you sent the girl. So this time around, she came when I'm not around. Remember, this is my niece. She has been visiting. She knows the place. She knows where she's going. So I was like, no need for me to keep around. I will just go to work. Then she will come at her own time. I first did what I did, prepared my children because there was no one. Then I left the keys with the lady renting. I told her, keys to my bedroom. The house was open. So my niece came. She called me when she reached. Like there was a phone at home. She called me when she reached. So this guy was like, oh, okay. We were talking. We were well off. So all this came out. Now when my niece came, that is when everything came out. That is when I even gathered the courage to leave. Because now everything was frustrating me. I was stressed, thinking about everything.
How you have been losing people.
Yeah, why is this happening? Now this young girl. So I was like,
If this one fails, then there is something
so there is a stage called denial. Living in denial. Yeah? So you're like, but okay, for the maids, yeah? Until when you're in denial, you're like, no, in everyone ever made. No, for this one, you're like, I am like this.
Imagine Helen for 13. Oh my God.
Yeah, very young girl. I was like, let me send this one. But this niece of mine was like a tiny girl, tiny one. Little breast had just started developing.
And then,
no bum, nothing, no nothing. So I'm like, this one is younger. She was young, in fact. She used to play with the kids. Still young mind. Yeah? But some men, I don't know why it's wrong with some men. I don't know. I really don't know. I go back to work. I called him. He knew this one had left. Now the niece is coming. I was at work for the first week. The girl was not complaining. Second week, I lost communication
with the girl.
So I asked him, why is the phone that is supposed to be like the home phone, no longer like in the hands of the children? Because they used to call this, that, So the reason he told me, my button phone got spoiled, so I'm using this as compensation. After me buying, I'll put it back. So that was a genuine reason, of course. I accepted. But the real reason as to why the phone was off was he didn't want the girl to communicate with me. So, first scenario, the girl called her elder sister, told her, I want to talk to you. When he had started his things again. So, but they didn't talk. So he knew that the girl is now calling people, trying to tell them. So he told her, I want that phone. If you want to talk to anyone, you come to me, ask for it, you kneel down there, you talk, then go. So, the girl told her, like, this is a story, the girl told her to her elder sister or her family, her people. So she said, she started asking for the phone to go for a long call, like taking the torch at night to call. So every time she used to ask for the phone, the guy used to give her a smartphone. Remember, it's locked, and this is a child. She can't forge. So she's like, I want to use that light. Then she even reached a time when she sees the guy is on phone, like on call with the smartphone. She asks for a torch, thinking they will give her the small phone. At least for a button phone, you just press, then call. Guy says, hold on. Gives her the smartphone. So it became hard for the girl to communicate. She kept quiet for the first week. First week after communication being cut off. But remember, that is her second week staying at my home. She kept quiet. I came back for the weekend after telling me that the phone is no longer here. I was like, it's fine. If you want to call me, you'll get a phone. But I know at home now what with the call for.
So was the man working?
Yeah, he was working. He was working, but
coming back home
on
a daily basis.
On a daily basis, and he could come back at 4 sometimes.
So he would get more time with the maid and the children.
Yeah, at 4, latest could be 7. That would be his latest.
Now I understand. He used to have more time at home.
Yeah, more time at home. And remember, this is a guy. I've been hearing scenarios before, and there is a scenario I also overlooked before. It was a scenario of my neighbor. Still, my neighbor was a married woman, but that is when we had just come now. You know, when something happens, it triggers your mind. Now, scenarios start coming back. You're like, even this thing happened once. I remember even someone complaining. So, this neighbor of mine had said that my husband tried like to seduce her, put her in a relationship. But that is when we had just come. So when I tried to talk to someone, they were like, no, I don't think. You know women. Yeah? Now you're new on the place. So
They thought you're jealous, eh?
yeah.
I'm telling you.
I was like, I'm just new on the place. Now I start quarreling with the women I found. I was like, no, let me just overlook this and let it be for the goodness of my marriage. So now my niece.
Back on your niece now.
Yeah, back on my niece. She didn't tell me anything for the first week. So I think the issues got worse after me leaving now this week. She said the guy used to come to her room. So she used to share the bed with my daughter, the firstborn. Yeah?
Your niece, eh?
Yeah, my niece used to share the bed with my firstborn. Yeah?
Did she share the story when you were still at home? Or
She tried, but the way I reacted was not good.
How did she start telling you?
So after everything happening, when I came back, she told me, I want to talk to you. The guy was still sleeping. So she told me, when you're not around, uncle comes to my room, he starts touching me. Then there is a time he licked me, as in like kissing the girl. So she was like, Nankomba. She didn't say he kissed me, but the girl said Nankomba. So like, that is licking in English. Yes. So I was like, that is something big. So I tried to listen, but the problem with Africans, we listen to react. So I was listening, not listening to understand, but listening to react. So I was like, tell me more. So Bambi, she told me everything, thinking I'm on her side. I'm listening, collecting my anger, as in a way of listening to react, as it is our norm. As we listen to react. So I listen. Then after I told her I will slap you, do you know what you're talking about? She was like, yes, I remember this is a young girl, but now I'm blinded.
And she's your relative.
Yes, but now I'm blinded. So, I don't know what was over me, but what came to my mind.
I think that was love.
Yeah, I think. So what came to my mind at first? Oh, wow, this family of mine doesn't like my husband. So my sister sent her child to come and destroy my marriage. But remember, she's my sister. That is
so you thought it was a setup for your marriage?
I think. So that is where I messed up. I called the guy. When I called the guy, he was sleeping. I told the guy, repeat everything when he's here. The girl repeated. Remember, this is a child. If she was lying, she wouldn't repeat. Because she would be scared. She repeated, but still, I told her, you see the way that girl is lying? Me? Not even before he said it.
So your husband saw it that, this woman is still trusting me.
So that is where he got the best. He started his days again. So this issue became big because the girl was tired. Luckily, he hadn't done anything, but these things he had come doing
for romance and
yes, so she got scared. So she told me, if you don't want to believe me, take me back to my home. So after the girl saying that thing, then the guy said, no, she's not going anywhere. Now she wants to go back to her home, starts destroying our name
and our family.
Yeah. So I also look in it. I was like, now they know me. I'm happily married. I'm in happy marriage. I'm happily married. We are in love with my husband. Now my niece goes back to the clan complaining about my husband. I told her, you're not going anywhere. She told me, if you don't want to take him, give me my phone. Give me the phone. I call 911. She comes for me. I told her no. So the guy told me that girl had a boyfriend outside. The guy telling me.
Your husband?
Yes. So now I think the girl is pregnant. She wants to say that the pregnancy is mine. But she was a young girl. But right now I'm siding with my husband. Remember, denial comes first. Denial comes first. Even if it was true, at that moment, I wouldn't believe. Because I want to tell myself, no, it can't happen. Like, I'm consoling myself. So I told the girl, you're not going anywhere. Forget everything. I'm going to forgive you for falsely accusing my husband. Continue doing what you've been doing. But the girl was serious. She told me I'm not even mopping. I'm not touching anything.
She was angry.
I am leaving. So I refused to give her the phone. She was like, okay. So she goes to this lady. the lady of the rentals. She was like, "Do you have some beeping on your phone or some minutes?" So the lady gave her the phone. But she didn't call there and then. She waited until I sent her on the shop to buy something. She told the lady, "Now give me the phone." She went outside. I had sent her for milk. So she was going to the dairy. As she was going, she beeped her mom on the way. So the mom called. She told her everything. So I was at home saying that this girl is not coming back. I received a call from the man. My sister. My sister called me and told me, "Has this girl told you anything since morning?" I was like, "No." I sent her on the shop. She's not coming back. Where is she? Now my sister was angry. She told me, "I'm sending a border guy to pick my girl. Pack her things. She's not coming back to your house." Now I knew the girl has talked to the mother. She came back, gave the phone to the owner, and sat on the veranda. But right now, I was not siding with her, so I quarreled, abused the girl seriously. I didn't give her anything, totally nothing. I told her, "If you want to go, just go." I gave her her clothes, told her sit there. So the border guy they sent, the guy who used to come this side, so he knew. The moment the guy reached, the girl just boarded without him even letting the guy greet me or anything. So she went back home. But after going back home, I just sat there and I was like, maybe. So this is after some time.
And you started smelling something.
Yeah. I was like, Naya. For the first one, went. Second one, went. Third one, went. So when the girl went back home, now I took my time. I was like, no, let me try to talk to these people. So I called this maid. Remember the second maid? The third one, the last one, who was my mom's maid. So I had her number. I called her. Remember, everything came out after my niece. So I told her, tell me everything. What happened? What really happened that morning? So she told me the guy tried between this and that. Like I told you.
So
I told her.
You can still elaborate to the viewer.
Oh,
so what would the guy do?
So this third maid, the last one, is the one they tried to harass in the morning. The sister to the one.
Yeah. The one who ran outside.
The one who ran outside. So she told me her part of the story. The guy tried to harass me, so I ran. I told her, why did your sister leave? Because I know she told you. So now the issues of the sister were the ones which were worse. Remember, she was my maid. Her sister was my maid. So she used to stay at home. I told her, why did your sister leave? She told me, every time that my sister would be in the house, the guy would come back when the children are outside playing, or after the children sleeping. He would try to force himself on her. He would touch the girl, do everything, then tell the girl, if you tell your madam, you're not going to receive salary for this month. Remember, he's the one paying them. They were my mates, but he was the one taking care of the bills. I was like, are you sure? I told her. She was like, yeah, I'm very sure. She called me and told me everything. I was like, so can I talk to your sister? She was like, my sister can never tell you anything because she hates you. I was like, why does your sister hate you? You're already siding with your husband. You didn't believe in her. Things like that. And she was right. She was right. True. Now this is where I start to think like, I think I messed up. So what I did, when I was leaving that weekend, I knew I'm not going to get anyone in that time. I go with my children.
At work?
Yeah, at work. But it was something hard staying with the children at work.
For real?
Yeah. But I was like, let me persevere for this time.
Then looking for another
yes, but I was planning to go see my sister now. That week's Friday, I was planning to go see my sister.
Remember, she was angry.
Yeah. So I decided I go to her place. I talk to her. Then I see the girl's side. So I went. But right now, my mind is open. Now, since my mind is open, I was like, I started even thinking, now where I was working is the village where this girl was. The girl I brought before, bringing my niece. So I first went to her home. I tried to talk to her. I asked her. Still, she told me the same issue. So she told me the person that was watching her as she was bathing was my husband. I told her, why didn't you tell me? She told me the day my husband tried to touch her, she said, I'm going to report you. The guy told him, if you report me, I'll strangle you, as in, I'll kill you. Remember, this is a child. Of course, that is something crucial. When a child, just telling her that I will strangle you is something enough to scare her.
For real.
So, what made this girl leave? The guy was watching her as she bathes, and he had started touching her. So that is why she left. So remember, the maid told me her side. She told me her sister's side. Now this girl is also telling me.
For real.
But this is after some months.
This is when you remembered to go deep into the story.
Yes. So now the last person, like someone to justify everything, was supposed to be my niece. Because for her, she was a bit innocent, more innocent than these ones. And according to her scenarios, it would be something easier to believe in. I was like, okay, thank you. I leave the girls home. Remember, by then, every time I would be chasing you or taking you back, I would take you without giving you anything. Like, I'm hungry. So I'm like, if you want to go, go. Empty-handed, nothing. So I'm up. This is the time I'm apologizing to the girl's family. And I'm like, okay, let me give you something. Because the girl had worked for me, but I took her without giving her anything. And the family was angry. The family was angry.
True.
So, before going to my sister, I tried to talk to my mom and other relatives. I told them if I talk to this girl, my niece, and she's like, so and so happened, I'm leaving this marriage. Remember, I'm married. We are in 5 years now. We have 2 children. So the first question they asked me, where are you going to stay with those children? You leave your marriage to stay. You're not coming back here. I was like, I'm not coming back. Now, what if it's true? Now I mean, like, should I ask? Should I just stay to keep my marriage? But remember, this is a pattern. Should I say pattern? It has happened for the first time, second time, third time, fourth time. It is a pattern, and I think it is a habit. Yeah, I should call it a habit. So I think it was this guy's habit, harassing people, children, ladies, because remember, the maids were old. The maids were old. The girls were young, so he had no age. The girls who could call daughter, he would still go ahead and arrest them. So I was like, let me just go. Now I've cried, I've done everything, but I'm still scared. What do? I just gather the courage. Like, let me go to my sister. So Friday comes, go with my children. So I told him, I'm not going to come back today, Friday. But I didn't tell him that I'm going to my sister. Remember, we are only 2. So if I tell him I'm going to my sister, of course he will know. It is the, yeah. So I told him I'm going to come back tomorrow morning. Since I have children, I can't move with the children at night. So we will come in the morning. He was like, yeah, it's fine. It's not good to move with children at night. So me, I travel to my sister's place. She was angry. But you know, sisters, you know, blood.
Blood is thicker than water.
Yeah. So she was ready to listen. Remember, she's my older sister. All these adults have seen things we've not seen. So she was like, me, I know it was your stubbornness disturbing you and love and, you know, childish. You were still childish. So I told her, can I talk to the girl now? The girl was even scared of me. Remember the way I treated her? I abused the girl. I even told her I'm going to slap you. The guy was like, no, auntie, I was lying. I was lying. So I think when she went back home, her mother told her, no, just let those things be. When someone asks you, tell her nothing happened. So at first she told me I was lying. Maybe she thought I'm still listening, so that I get some yes. So she told me, no, I was lying. I told her, no, it's fine. Now you can tell me. So she starts telling me, after you had left, Uncle used to come to my room. He started touching me. Now, at first, when he came and touched me, I stopped sleeping in my night dress because it was light. So I used to put on my boob tube at night and my patra. They call them patras in the children, yeah? And my patra,
The short shorts.
yes, a gin one. So I told her why. Because Uncle would come and touch me, and I didn't like it when he was touching me. So I decided to start putting on something heavy, so that when he touches me, at least he's touching the clothes. I told her, why didn't you tell me? He was like, first I called my sister, but that is the time when he took the phone. So I had no way of telling him. I told her, what else did he do? He said, now when he was touching me, I used to put like my firstborn at the edge of the bed, so that when he comes, he finds a child. Then me, I used to sleep on the wall. So he would come, carry the girl, put the girl in her brother's bed. So the girl would remain alone in the bed. After doing what he has done, brings back the girl puts her here. Now one time, the guy told the girl, you know that when you put that girl at the edge of the bed, she will fall. Make sure she sleeps on the wall. If not, I'm going to report you to your auntie that you don't take care of the children very well. So she put the girl back on the wall. She started sleeping back again. But this is the time she used to put on the dress up fully. So that night, the girl said, like, Uncle licked me. I think that is something that shocked her. She was like, what is this guy doing? So that is when she decided to tell me. After that, touching her, doing everything. I even think he used to watch her bathing because it was happy. But she just didn't see him. Yeah, so I told her, I'm sorry, I didn't listen to you at first, but I was confused. I explained to the mom, she understood, she knew. So the girl was like, it's fine. So I was curious, did the guy do anything? Because I've heard stories of him touching people, doing that. So now my major worry is, did he do anything? This is a girl, 13 years old. You've harassed her sexually. You've traumatized the girl. I even think up to now the girl still remembers such things.
She was traumatized.
Yes. So I was like, did he do anything beyond? Like, fine, he touched you, he licked you, yeah, everything you said he did. Did he do anything beyond? She was like, no, but I think, luckily, she had spoke before time. So he couldn't. Because after the scenario of licking her is when the girl told me. So, and that is the time she left. So he didn't get the chance to do anything. I was there. Luckily, fine, he harassed the girl, touched the girl, did everything, but he didn't do anything beyond, because that would be something different. So after the girl telling me, I'm totally confused. Now I believe I'm like, the first person can't tell me the same story. Second person telling me the same story. Third person telling me the same story. Even my relative telling me the same story. And I still side with the guy.
They opened up your mind.
Now I decide to talk to my sister. Now my sister, by then I think she was in 13 years of marriage. Should I? I'm not sure, but they were beyond 10 years with her husband. So she told me this is something big. But marriage needs patience and forgiveness, you know. Remember, my mom told me, don't come back here. Now my sister is telling me, but it had happened to her girl. But you know African mindsets. She was like, marriage needs forgiveness. Okay, you can live for some time, get somewhere to stay, but you go back to your marriage. You're married. You have a ring. Now you're going to start processing matters of divorce. What and what? You have children. Children are young. They need their dad. I was like, but it's easier to say when it's not happening to you. But when it's happening to you, you know the intensity. Remember, you love your husband, you've been supporting your husband, you've been siding with your husband, everything, totally everything. Now, the time comes, they're telling you after everything he has done. And remember, to us women, the more you love someone, if that person breaks your heart, it's the more you like hate that person. So now I hate the guy with passion. Me, I didn't even want to go back that Friday to pack my things. No, I just want to keep at my sister's place, call him, tell him whatever comes to my mind, tell him send my things, I'm not coming back. But after talking to my sister, so that Saturday, he called me in the morning. You said you're coming. I'm waiting for you, you're not coming back. So it was at around midday, I was still in my sister's place, in bed, confused. I was like, I'm not going back. My sister told me, go back, leave the children here. Go back, because she thought we would end up fighting. And it's not good. So she told me, leave the children here, go, talk to him, tell him anything you feel like. Tell him anything, then you see what to do. Do what you want. For now, do what you want. But don't think about asking for a divorce. But I told him everything, he was still denying. But remember, right now, I don't need your opinion. I don't need your justification. I have already come to a conclusion. I believe the people. Now I know the truth. And I knew, even if it was you in such a scenario, I would still say no. Those people are lying. I told him I want to go rest for some time. I want to take my things, rest for some time. So he was like, no, if you want a divorce, no, this is not an issue that can cause you a divorce. You have no evidence. You're just taking words of people. I can't believe a woman I've spent years and years with, you can just leave for just a small issue. I told him I'm not divorcing you. I told you I want to go rest. So let me pick my things, because like you're not going anywhere. Where are my children? If you want to go, bring my children here. Oh, so I was like, no, I'm even taking my children's clothes. I'm going to rest. I'll come back when my mind is clear. So I go. I first stayed at my sister's place for that weekend as I'm waiting to go back to work. So I reach work. But remember, Friday, I have nowhere to go. Friday is coming, but I have nowhere to go.
I'm telling you.
I was stressed. So stressed. So what I decided, a good thing, luckily, at work they used to give you accommodation. So I was saying, no, let me stay here at once. Let me be working Monday to Friday. I stay here for the weekend, go back to work on Monday. It's fine, remember, they rent for you, so it's your house. I take my children with me. I started living with them, trying to talk to my family. So I think there were 3 weeks now, not going back to my home. So the guy traveled, went to my mom, told her, your daughter is not coming back. Remember, my mom is an African, and you know what I would say? You're going to embarrass us in the village. Now everyone is going to start talking. Like you left your marriage, left the man who loved you. Now the guy keeps on coming here every day. You don't want to talk to him, looking for you. And you took the children. Now you want the children to grow up without a dad. Now everyone is calling me. So I was saying, no, this is my life. I decided to switch off the phones. So I let them talk, but me now, I've decided I'm not going back. Remember, when you've been in something that is stressing you, like you're traumatized, you have that, like that trauma, and you live alone for some time, try to talk to a few friends who can help you. Live alone these people who are going to criticize and judge. So my friends used to tell me, if you don't want to go back, don't. You're working. And it's not being like, let me say, I'm not embarrassing the guy, but I was earning more than he was. So I could sustain myself. Because I was like, now why do I have to go back? I can take care of my children. I can take care of myself. So, what happened was, I was working in a faith based institution. So, this is where I lose my job now. Faith based institutions, some of them, once you're divorced, once you're not married, once you're like, you get the job when you're married. Requirements for getting the job, it required someone who is married. Now, those were tough times. Should I stay to keep my job? But remember, I'm staying in the marriage to keep the job. Oh, I leave. I lose both. I lose the guy, I lose the marriage, I lose the job. So I'm here with my children. I'm not working. I was staying at a friend's place now.
So you came from your sister's place to your friend's place.
Remember, my family didn't want me to be divorced. So now they are blaming me, and they're like, you put yourself in this, take yourself out. I was staying at my friend's place. So in these issues, like everything that was taking place, I ended up losing my job.
Oh, sorry.
Losing my job. Remember, I'm now staying with my children at work. Stressed. Remember, your productivity cannot be the same. You used to work, now you sleep at night, but you don't sleep. You cry the whole night, so now you're dozing during the day. Your table is filled with files, everything. Your boss is complaining. Remember, you come with kids at work. Everything is messed up. Everything is dirty. You don't have the energy to clean, so I ended up losing my job.
Sorry.
And this is the time I'm thinking about divorce.
Oh, really?
But remember, my family is not supporting me. So now, since my family is not supporting me, I can't go back to stay with my sister. I can't go to my mom's place. Everyone is telling me, if you need a place to go, you have a house, you have a home. So don't look for anywhere to stay. You have a home.
Go back to that one.
I called my friend. Luckily, God sends us some friends who are supporting. So she was like, she's single. She was like, I can accommodate you guys for some time. As you get back to your feet, you're there. So this is where I am now. Still confused, not divorced, but not staying with my husband. Should I go back? Should I stay beside, file a divorce? Everything is on my mind. I'm staying with my friend, with my children. I'm not working. Life is a bit hard, but I'm still confused. Remember everything that happened? A habit is a habit. I know he will not change. But times are tough. I need survival. Still looking for a job, but it's not easy to find. For real. I have 2 children, and I cannot be calling him every now and then, send like help for your children. He'll be like, if you can't sustain the children, give them to me. And I don't want to lose my child. So I'm still there. I don't know if you guys can give me some advice, like the viewers, our viewers. But to me, I'm in a dilemma. Like right now, I'm in total confusion.
Sorry about that. We are so sorry. So, our dear family, our dear viewers, please, if you know you have been watching from the start until now, please put in the comment section. Your views are going to be adding so much or something into this lady. So, now you can like the video. If you know you have not subscribed, please you can subscribe. You can put your comment or your view in the comment section, and we see how we are going to help or to support, or else you can support her. Like, you may be having your support, you can ask in the comment section, and I give you where to put the support so that we can support this lady. Thank you very much. Your comment is going to be adding so much onto our lives. Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you in the next video.